What if I told you there's a country in Africa where you can stand face to face, literally inches away, from one of the most powerful creatures on Earth? And it's perfectly legal? What if I told you that same country sits right on the equator, yet has some of the most comfortable, temperate weather you'll ever experience? And what if that same country, roughly the size of the United Kingdom, holds half of the world's entire mountain gorilla population? That country is Uganda, and if you've never thought about it as a travel destination, or even at all, then stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to want to book a flight. Welcome back to the channel. And today we're going deep into the Pearl of Africa, a nickname coined by none other than Winston Churchill himself. Uganda is a landlocked country in East Central Africa, bordered by South Sudan to the north, Kenya to the east, Tanzania and Rwanda to the south, and the Democratic Republic of Congo to the west. And right in its southern belly sits Lake Victoria, the largest lake in Africa and the second largest freshwater lake in the entire world. Now here's something most people completely miss about Uganda. This is not a flat, dry, dusty savanna country. Uganda is green, deeply, aggressively, overwhelmingly green. Rolling hills, rainforests, crater lakes, rivers, wetlands. The biodiversity here is almost unfair. Uganda has more bird species than the entire continent of North America. Read that again. More bird species than all of North America. And yet, Uganda receives a fraction of the tourism that Kenya or Tanzania gets, which, honestly, means you can have experiences here that feel genuinely untouched. Let me show you what I mean. Before Uganda was Uganda, this region was home to some of the most sophisticated kingdoms in all of sub-Saharan Africa. The Buganda Kingdom, whose name literally gave the country its name, was a highly organized monarchy with its own parliament, legal code, and administrative system. This wasn't a simple chieftaincy, this was a state. Other kingdoms, Bunyoro, Ankole, Toro, Busoga, each had their own cultures, languages, and traditions. There are over 56 distinct ethnic groups in Uganda today, each with their own language. The national language is Luganda, but English is the official language, a legacy of British colonial rule, which began in the late 1800s and lasted until independence on October 9, 1962. The black represents the African people, the yellow represents Africa's sunshine, the red represents African brotherhood, and the gray-crowned crane at the center, that's Uganda's national bird. Uganda's post-independence history has been turbulent. The brutal dictatorship of Idi Amin in the 1970s cast a long shadow, a period of violence, expulsions, and economic collapse that the world has not forgotten. But what many outsiders miss is how far Uganda has come. Today, Kampala is one of the fastest growing cities in Africa. Uganda has a young entrepreneurial population. Over 75% of Ugandans are under 30 years old. The energy here is electric. Culturally, Ugandans are renowned for their warmth and hospitality. There's a phrase you'll hear often, Webe elenyo. It means, thank you very much. And by the time you leave, you'll be using it too. Alright, let's get into the part you've been waiting for. Here are the 5 absolute must-see destinations in Uganda, and I promise each one of these will surprise you. Site 1, Bwindi Impenetrable National Park, home of the mountain gorilla, UNESCO World Heritage Site, arguably the single greatest wildlife experience on the planet. Bwindi Impenetrable National Park. The name alone should tell you something. This is not a manicured game reserve where animals walk past your Jeep. This is a dense, ancient rainforest in southwestern Uganda. Over 321 square kilometers of tangled vegetation, steep ridges, and misty valleys. And somewhere inside it, in small family groups, live approximately 460 mountain gorillas. That is roughly half of all the mountain gorillas left on Earth. Gorilla trekking permits in Uganda cost $700 per person. Yes, $700. But here's the thing. That money goes directly into conservation and local communities. And when you're sitting in the jungle, 2 meters from a 200-kilogram silverback who is completely unbothered by your presence, casually eating leaves, you will not think about the price for even 1 second. That moment changes you. Site 2, Murchison Falls National Park, Uganda's largest national park, home to the world's most powerful waterfall by flow rate. In the northwest of Uganda, the mighty Nile River, yes, the Nile, forces itself through a gap in the rocks just 6 meters wide and explodes into the valley below. The result is Murchison Falls, one of the most jaw-dropping natural spectacles in Africa. The roar alone will stop you in your tracks. But Murchison Falls National Park isn't just the waterfall. This is big game country. Elephants, lions, Cape buffalo, hippos, Nile crocodiles, giraffes, and the rare Rothschild's giraffe, one of the most endangered giraffe subspecies in the world. You can take a boat cruise along the Nile right up to the base of the falls. You will have hippos surfacing 3 feet from your boat. It is ridiculous in the best possible way. The Switzerland of Africa. Crater lakes, island villages, and some of the purest water on the continent. If Bwindi is adrenaline, Lake Bunyonyi is peace. Nestled in the highlands of southwestern Uganda, this ancient crater lake is one of the deepest in Africa, up to 900 meters in some parts. It's dotted with 29 islands, some of which have tiny communities living on them. The scenery here, terraced hills plunging into glassy water, canoes gliding at dawn, mist rolling off the surface. It genuinely looks like somewhere that shouldn't exist. You can kayak between islands, visit the community on Wama Island, or simply sit on a deck and watch the weaver birds build their nests. There are no bilharzia parasites here. It's one of the few Great Lakes in Africa where you can actually swim. And that, my friends, is luxury. Queen Elizabeth National Park. Tree climbing lions, chimpanzees, savanna, forest, wetlands, all in one park. Most lions lie on the ground. They're big cats. They're lazy. They do lion things. But in Queen Elizabeth National Park in the Ishasha sector, lions climb trees, not occasionally, regularly. No one is entirely sure why. Possibly for shade, possibly to escape tsetse flies, possibly because nobody told them they weren't supposed to. Whatever the reason, it has made Ishasha famous among safari photographers worldwide. Beyond the lions, Queen Elizabeth is home to chimps in the Kiambura Gorge, a sunken valley you descend into on foot to track habituated chimpanzee families. The park also borders Lake Edward, where you'll find some of the densest hippo concentrations in Africa. It's one of those places where every hour brings something new. The capital, the chaos, the culture, the food, and the Kasubi tombs. Don't skip Kampala. I know it's tempting to fly in and head straight to the national parks, but Kampala deserves at least 2 days. Built across 7 hills, like Rome, the city is a chaotic, vibrant, hilarious sensory overload. The boda-bodas, motorcycle taxis, weave between traffic with supernatural confidence. The markets, especially Owino Market, sell everything from second-hand clothes to traditional bark cloth. Visit the Kasubi Tombs, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and the sacred burial ground of the Buganda Kings, the Kabakas. Visit the Uganda Museum, one of the oldest museums in East Africa. And eat. Eat everywhere. We'll talk about the food in a moment, but I want you to know right now, Rolex is not what you think it is. We're coming back to that. Let's talk about the Ugandan Rolex, not the watch, the street food. A Rolex is a chapati, a flatbread, rolled around a fried egg omelet, often with vegetables and sometimes meat. It costs next to nothing. It is absolutely delicious. The name comes from rolled eggs. That's it. That's the whole etymology. And it is genuinely one of the great street foods on the planet. Other must-try foods, matoke, steamed and mashed green bananas, which is practically the national dish. G-nut stew, groundnut sauce served with rice or posho, maize porridge. Nyama choma, roasted meat, usually goat, eaten with friends, usually very late at night. And fresh tilapia, pulled straight from Lake Victoria and grilled over charcoal on the lakeside. Nothing else is needed. Now some practical tips. The best time to visit Uganda is during the dry seasons, December to February and June to August. These are the easiest times for guerrilla trekking and game drives, though Uganda's equatorial climate means it can rain at any time. Visa. Most nationalities can get an East Africa tourist visa on arrival or online, which gives you access to Uganda, Kenya, and Rwanda on a single visa. Excellent value if you're planning a multi-country trip. Getting around? Flying into Entebbe International Airport, not Kampala, note, is the main entry point. From there, domestic flights, private vehicles, and guided tours are your best options. Public transport exists and is genuinely an experience, but roads can be challenging, especially to national parks. Safety. Uganda is, by and large, a safe country for tourists. The usual precautions apply. Don't flash valuables, be aware of your surroundings in busy areas. Avoid walking alone late at night in unfamiliar neighborhoods. Most visitors report that Ugandans are extraordinarily friendly and welcoming, and that tracks completely with my experience. One more thing. If you go to Uganda, go beyond the parks. Visit a local school. Volunteer for a day with a community project. Hire a local guide, not just for the parks, but for the city too. The people of Uganda are, without exaggeration, one of the country's greatest attractions. The laughter here is loud, and the welcome is genuine. You will feel it immediately. Winston Churchill visited Uganda in 1907 and called it the Pearl of Africa. Over a century later, that name still fits. Maybe it fits even better now, because Uganda has fought through so much to get to where it is today, and it still wears its beauty without pretension. It doesn't shout for your attention. It just waits, patient and extraordinary, for the right kind of traveler to find it. If you've been watching travel content and thinking, I want somewhere that isn't overrun, somewhere that still feels real, somewhere that will actually change me, Uganda is your answer. Book the Gorilla Trek. Eat the Rolex. Stand at the top of Murchison Falls at sunrise when the mist is rising off the Nile, and there is not another soul around. You'll understand everything Churchill meant.